The following episode of the Maui Chamber of Commerce's Business Matters was originally broadcast on May 6th, 2025.
It's time now for Business Matters, brought to you by the Maui Chamber of Commerce. And now here's your host, Pam Tumpop. Good morning, Pam. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Gary. I am wonderful and blessed. How are you today?
I am doing fine. I woke up this morning. That's a good sign.
Every day we wake up. You're right. That's a great sign. Another day of possibilities.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Oh, well, thank you so much for all you do for our show and producing this show. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you. We appreciate all that you do also.
Oh, thank you, Gary. Well, I want to welcome everybody to Business Matters today. It is going to be a great morning. The sun is shining, and it's definitely beautiful from where I'm at. And so today we are going to speak with Chee from Hawaii State Federal Credit Union's Kahului branch office about their community initiatives and outreach. And then we're going to meet with Nicole Nakamura, president of Valley Isle Excursions, and discuss a little bit about what they do, how they do it, and what their plans are for this year. So first, joining us is Chee Jr., Vice President and Branch Manager of Hawaii State Federal Credit Union's Kahului branch. Joe has nearly 2 decades of experience in Hawaii's financial services sector and has held leadership roles in institutions including American Savings Bank, Territorial Savings Bank, and Primerica Financial Services. Since 2018, he has overseen operations at Hawaii State Federal Credit Union's Kahului branch, serving over 6,600 members on Maui. He is a graduate of Kona Waiana High School and the University of Colorado's Leeds School of Business. Joe is also actively involved in the community through organizations such as the Rotary Club of Kahului and others. He is also a director on the Chamber's Board of Directors. And by the way, while we're not talking about it much today, I just have to put in a plug. He's also a phenomenal musician. Hint, hint, in case you might need any music coming up for some of your events. Good morning and welcome to Business Matters, Joe.
Good morning, Pam. Nice to be with you this morning.
Nice to have you here. Thank you so much. Well, I can't tell everybody all the background story, but I can say that Hawaii State Federal Credit Union really helped our family when we were buying some land. And so we are members, proud members of Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. Can you tell everybody about how you and your amazing Hawaii State Federal Credit Union team help serve the needs of residents on Maui?
Sure. So, Hawaii State Federal Credit Union is currently right now, it is the largest credit union in the state of Hawaii. And we've been on Maui. They opened up a Kahului branch back in 2008. It was a really small branch right in the middle of Kahului over by, I want to say Triangle Square, I think, over by the airport side. And, it was always kind of looked upon as one of the, I hate to coin a term, but a kind of Oahu credit union type of thing. But they did their thing. We had great products, made some loans, did what they did. I came on board in 2018. I want to say right when, at that point, the team that was there already had been doing some really good stuff, and we had quite a bit of members. When they brought me on board, they had plans to move to our new Kahului office, which is over by Target. They said, "Hey, Joe, we're going to have a twice the size." I said, are we going to build a bigger team? They said, yes. I said, oh, that sounds great. So we just tried to kind of continue that momentum. There's a lot of credit unions on Maui, and they all do such great work to help our community. And so we just, we're just another kind of place in the sandbox that our residents and our community can come and get financial help. For nowadays, credit unions are really seen more. I know people ask, what's the difference between a credit union and a bank? And as far as services and whatnot, we have all the same banking services that banks do now. But because a credit union by nature is a not-for-profit corporation, all the profit that comes through the year is looked at and goes back to how can we lower loan rates for our members, how can we give better deposit rates for them, how can we maybe eliminate fees here and there and offer things for free and whatnot. So there's a lot of benefit of being part of a credit union family.
That's so true, and I'm glad you explained that because I think a lot of people don't really understand that difference, and that's a tremendously important difference.
Yeah, and I think I've been in financial services for over 20 plus years, and but most of my time has been in the banking side, and so even for myself before I came over here, I knew most I knew about credit union was you could get really good rates. So, maybe you got a great car loan, you bought a car and you got a great car loan with a good rate from a credit union. But for convenience-wise, you still had an account at a bank because, you needed the ATMs, you needed more branches, you just needed whatever to be able to be more convenient. However, now with modern technology, everything's online. We have, we're fortunate, we're blessed. We have an amazing website. We have an amazing online platform and a mobile app that's very easy to use. And so, and then not only that, we've partnered with other banks so that our members can use other ATMs throughout the island and throughout the state. So, yeah. So now, convenience-wise, you can find us. You can get at us. We're right here. So that makes it a lot easier.
That's awesome. And you're right, that ATM thing is still a really big thing. I always laugh as the mobile apps are getting better. I'm thinking, wow, this is really good. I don't have to go out. But every once in a while, that ATM is a really good thing. So that's great that you have those relationships as well.
Yeah.
Well, I know you and your team are very humble, but I do want to bring up that you are involved in so many things in the community. You do a lot of community outreach, and you do some of it is through charitable means by supporting cultural events, but you're also out and involved in so many other things. You get involved in sponsoring things. I would like you to talk about, because recently I know you just did Lay Heritage Day. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and what was that amazing day like? And how long have you been involved in that?
Yeah, so this was our first year participating, and what it was, that was born out of a relationship that we just recently partnered with the Maui Historical Society, and just a quick background on that. So to join a credit union, you have to have eligibility in order to be a member. It's a little bit different, and so credit unions either have two ways. You can either be part of a community aspect, or your credit union has something that's connected to, let's say, like an employer or membership organization or whatnot. And that's how, like, for example, we used to be Hawaii State Employees Federal Credit Union. And so that's how it was born, because it was for the employees of the state of Hawaii. We still retain, we're not a community chartered, but we are still with employer and organization. And so if you or your family member works for the state or the county or any of the other we have hundreds now of organizations for like Maui Costco, ILWU, all these different organizations. And one of them that we try to do a catch-all is, for example, if you are not, let's say you're a self-employed plumber and you just started your business and you don't have family that works at one of the partnerships that we have, but you want to join the credit union, Maui Historical Society, if you get a 1-year membership with them, which they've discounted for our members at $25, then you become a member of Maui Historical Society. Now you're eligible to be part of our credit union, because their members can be eligible for our credit union as well. So we just started that partnership with Maui Historical not too long ago, which is a fantastic win-win, because it helps us promote them as a great nonprofit that's trying to do some really good stuff for just amazing things for Maui. And also, it allows us to have a route for those who may not have other eligibility. They can become a member of them and then join our credit union. And so because of that, they invited us to be part of their Lady Heritage Festival, which this was their 10th year. They have hula, music, food, crafts. It was a whole thing. And it was great because there were local businesses. There were a lot of tourists that found their way up there to the Bailey House. It was a beautiful spot up there on their lawn they have a natural stage, and so it was a really great. And all the kupuna that came out, they had a vintage Hawaiian fashion show they had a lei making contest, and they even had you could make leis, and that the table was full, and we were just so stoked that the day, this was what, a Thursday? It was a Thursday, May 1st, and the place was packed. It was a really, really nice, it was a beautiful day, and it was a really nice celebration that they had.
Yeah, my mom actually used to be on the board of the Maui Historical Society, and she went out there. She was thrilled to be at the event and just loved it. She goes every year, and it's really phenomenal. Well, I'm so glad. Lei Day, I always think Lei Day is so important in Hawaii. And it's really important to celebrate. It unites us. Everybody has so much aloha, and it's just a wonderful day. And it looked like I've seen the picture.
Yeah, we saw so many of our members. They came by. They're like, "Oh, you guys are here!" And of course, it helps with our color is bright red. Yeah, so we have our table. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, it's good." And we had so many members like, "Oh, I bank with you guys. I'm with you guys. I've been a member." Blah blah blah. But then what's neat too is you have tourists that come up and they and they're like, "Hey, what is this all about? What's going on?" And you get to explain, and it was really a cool. And then the museum's open, so they go in and out. But it was such a I told one of my guys there was with me, Roger, and I said, This is we're doing this again. We're sitting here at work. We're sitting here at work, being loved by all these members in our community, and we're listening to Hawaiian music. We eat Hawaiian food, and I'm like, we're gonna do this. This makes 10 years for them, but this is year number 1 for us. So we're gonna keep doing this, I think. So.
I think it's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that you supported that. Yeah. And I know that you folks really feel that it's important to participate in a lot of these types of community and cultural events. Tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you've been involved in.
Sure. So this is a busy month for us. We've got Maui Matsuri Japanese festival coming up, and we participated in that last year. Last year was our first year, and it was just such a great partnership. We had so much fun. And so they break their festival into 2 days in the beginning of the month. So this Saturday is the Children's Festival happening at Queen Kahumanu Center. And it's a great day. Yeah, they have music and performances and different cultural performances and all kinds of things going on. So and we get into the movie. We're gonna have origami making at our table and whatnot. And again, it's just fun to be there with the community and talk story and granted, it's for exposure. I get that. We could open an account and things on the spot if they wanted to, but really the nature of it's more of just being with our community and with our members and with our the residents of Maui. That's a fun one. I know they ended the day with a obon dance. They teach us how, because the big family festival, it happens at the May 24th at the UH Maui College, and that's where it's a big that's a big one. So we'll be there too in the events area. We'll have a table participating with that too. But they kind of split that up for the two. And then so that takes care of Maui Matsuri. Again, great partnership with those guys. And then this will be the first year that we'll be also involved with the Barrio Fiesta, the Filipino festival. Biniat Ani, the Biniat Ani Filipino Community Center Roger, who works with us here at our branch, he's on the board of the Biniani Center, and so he's involved. And we said, we want to also reach out. We have a lot of members in the Filipino community, and so we'll have a table and a booth at that event, and that's a 2-day event on Friday and Saturday. So we'll have a team there, and then Saturday we'll have a team at the Biniani, the Filipino Festival, Barrio Fiesta, and at the Maui Matsuri at Maui College. So,
it is a big event.
And we're still open. And we're still open on that Saturday for business. So our 2 branches on Maui, we'll spread everybody out and have fun around the island. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And I love that. And as the team is spread out everywhere, we're still open. We're still here to serve.
Yeah. We're still open. Yeah, we're here. We'll be here. Yeah. And in honor of that too, so we do have specials. I'm going to shameless plug. We have from this Saturday from the Maui Matsuri, the 10th, from the 10th until the 24th for those couple of weeks. There, or even if you just come into either our branch or the Chee Safeway branch, if you become a new member, every new member will get a $25 gift card from Safeway. So
amazing.
That's a special we're going to run just as a awareness and a mahalo for becoming a member. So $25 Safeway gift card for any new member between May 10th and May 24th.
That's fantastic. Well, that's an important thing that we need to share with everybody. That's fantastic and a great time. So May 10th to 24th, go into Hawaii State Federal Credit Union, learn what they're all about, become a member, and you get the bonus, a Safeway gift card. Yeah. That's phenomenal. Yeah. I love that. So tell, also because you're doing community things, and I know you're sponsoring events, and tell people if they're interested in having an event sponsored by, community event sponsored by Hawaii Community Foundation. Hawaii Community Foundation, Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. We were into so much giving, I was thinking it was the foundation all of a sudden. Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. Who do they contact? How does the organization learn about how you might be able to help them with their community or community events and supporting their organization?
One of the ways is they can go directly to our website at www.Hawaii State FCU for Federal Credit Union, hawaiistatefcu.com. They can go there and contact us through the website with any requests. If they wanted kind of more of a personal or that's too complicated, they can basically just come and contact me. They can come either see me or drop. Sometimes people like to come in and explain a little bit or give me some literature or a letter or whatnot. They're more than welcome to come to the Kahului branch. Like most companies and financial institutions, we can't promise everything all the time, but we do look at everything. It just depends on where things are at. We have our budgets and whatnot too, but I've been more than surprised when things I thought wouldn't go through, and then they say, hey, why? Yeah, it sounds like something we kind of want to do. So, I tell people all the time, it never hurts to ask, because if you don't ask, then the automatic answer is no. So. Right. Yeah.
I that's right. If you don't ask, you'll never know. So that's really important. And as you're doing so many of these amazing things, and I love how you shared the difference between Hawaii State Federal Credit Union and the banks. Can you share some of the types of programs that you folks have? And again, in our case, it actually was through I'm trying to think what you call it, but anyway, it was through a mortgage broker, I guess I would say, that connected us to Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. But so I didn't know that you folks did that directly. I mean, so I was partnered through this broker with you. But can you talk about some of the types of programs and the ways that you can help people?
Sure. So we do. When I came on board, in 2018. The interest rates, of course, we all know was a lot lower, and so it wasn't so much a deposit savings type environment, but we did a lot of loans, and we've done a lot of loans, from personal loans to home equity lines of credit, to we have one of the best photovoltaic or PV system loans that's out there right now. It's got 18 months with no interest and no payment, so you can kind of catch up on a bunch of stuff and then kind of pay it down as much as possible. But and we also do full, conventional mortgage loans, a 30-year loan, 15-year loan. We did a lot of refinances back then. We're still doing a few now, but the rates are not what they used to be. But purchase, we can do purchase property. We also have our own portfolio loans, which means that those are in-house. So if you don't qualify kind of in conventional means or whatnot, we may be able to still look at something that we can do for you in-house to see if we can still help you either buy the house or refinance or whatever you need to do. And so full mortgage services, personal loan services, car and auto loan, we have that as well. We have credit cards. We have we have actually the best credit card out there as far as we have an Always Cash Visa credit card that pays 2.5% cash back, no matter what you're using it for. So it doesn't have categories that, you either got to use it for gas or you got to use it for travel or whatnot. Whatever you use it for is 2.5%. We are also partnered with, like one of our partnerships is with our Maui Costco, where any employee of our Costco can become members of the credit union. We go back and forth. So I tell people I have two cards in my wallet. I have my Costco City Visa card, and I have my Always Cash card. And the reason is, if I'm buying gas or eating at a restaurant, I get a higher cash back on the City card with Costco. But even inside Costco, if I use my Always Cash, I get 2.5% versus only 2%. So, those are those little things that, people don't realize that. Right. So, that's the two cards that pay the best of what we've got right now. So we have that as well. We also are one of the few, and then the deposit side, now that rates have gone up, where we actually can get something on savings. We do have term share. We call it, that's another funny thing. In the credit union world, we have different terms for things. So we call it term share. That's a CD. So certificate of deposit in the bank world. We have that as well with rates, I think 3.4% right now on a more short term, 9 months. We also have, we actually have a savings rate right now. It's a modified specialized savings. It's at 4% actually right now. Wow. And savings account. You need $10,000 outside money to open it, but after that you can deposit, and that's good for up to $250,000 total in that account. But so things like that we're able to do to just give a little bit of, we created that savings account for our state and county employees that got hazard pay. And, a lot of them get this boost, right, with the hazard pay, and they're, they don't know what really to do with it yet, because they kind of, do we save it? We might need it. So we wanted to create a deposit account that they could put that in there and at least earn something really good.
I just want to tell you, thank you for covering all of that, because a lot of people don't know all of the things that are offered. They don't know the differences between a credit union and a bank.
Right.
But I really appreciate you sharing your programs with us today, because, I know our interview was mostly to be around just the amazing community activities and the things that you're doing that you folks are so proud of. But I appreciate you taking the time to share that with us, because understanding all of these different programs gets us thinking. And right now, people who've gone through such financial difficulties, to understand new avenues and options is really important for them. And
Yeah,
so,
I did. Sorry, I did want to mention that outside of, and so things that even that we don't think about, because we just think about banking, we get caught up in our paying our bills and whatnot, and we have all of that stuff. But we also have investment services as well. So we do have fully licensed investment financial advisors that can help people with retirement, long-term investing, things like life insurance, long-term care. We do a lot of 401k rollovers. We can even set up retirement plans for small businesses. That's another thing I want to mention too, is that especially relative to Maui Chamber of Commerce, we are one of the few credit unions on the island that can do business banking. And we do business banking. We do have business members. We can't do like super high cash flow type of businesses because we don't have a corporate banking section where we can do lot of amounts of cash back and forth. But most everyone now, they're on Square or they have online or they have that kind of thing. So we do have on a regular basis a lot of small businesses on Maui opening accounts with us on a regular basis. And for the same reasons why they do the personal side is they found out that because we're a credit union, even for the business side, whether you have business checking, savings, even if you need a business credit card or business loans, because we're not for profit, the programs are cheaper. There's a lot more freebies that come with it. We don't charge extra for online banking. All of those neat things that you can get as a consumer member, you can also get as a business member with our credit union.
I'm so glad you said that because, again, for small businesses, and 95% of our members are small businesses, and in many cases, micro businesses by national standards. That we're always looking for savings for small businesses, so that's really important. And I love knowing that I'm learning things. I'm a member, and I feel bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know there's tons of materials. Apparently, I should have read more, because I'm learning so much myself as a member to say, wow, this is far more diverse services than I even realized, and I truly appreciate that. Just in closing, what is something that you really want the community to know about Hawaii State Federal Credit Union? And I do also want you to remind everybody where you're at and how they can find you in your target. But what is something you'd really like them to know overall about you and your amazing team?
Well, that's a great question. So we, I feel, again, I can't think of a better word to say other than blessed because we have phenomenal products. And like you said, we have a diversity that is really amazing. We are a one-stop shop for all your financial needs. And that's great. And our products, our rates, all of those things are some of the best in the state that makes it easy for us. We don't really have to sell a lot of it. It's just, hey, we have these great tools. But what we focus on here on Maui is our customer service. It is, again, I've been in financial services, banking, insurance, all of that stuff for over 20, almost 25 years. And one thing I know, there is a way to do business on Hawaii. It's all about relationships. It's all about who you know. It's all about, you want to have really good stuff, and we have great stuff, and that helps us tremendously. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody, if you need help. My online thing's not working, or I got a charge on my statement. I'm like, what is this? Or something, or I think I'm moving and I got to figure out how to change all my stuff. All those types of things, all the life questions, you want to pick up someone. That's why sometimes we choose an insurance company based on a certain agent we want to work with, or an investment company because of a certain financial advisor we want to work with. Same with banking. You mentioned it earlier. We brag about our Ohana style as soon as you walk through our doors, and we work on this, so it's not by chance. We work on making sure that you will not have the same experience anywhere else that you do when you walk through our doors, and we get to know you. We get to know our members where we can see them coming up to the door, and sometimes our tellers, they know them, so they got to pulled up on their computer before they even come through that door. And they'll come through and like, hey, John, got you right here. Come, I got you up. What we doing? You're gonna pay the blah, blah, whatever, that kind of thing, right? And that goes a long way to even at the fires. We didn't realize how many members our credit union had on the west side of Maui.
Yeah.
We spent 2 full weeks, everyone in this branch crying, going over the stories of them coming in. And, a lot of them came in and couldn't even get their wallets or their purses, couldn't even save their identification from the fires. Came in, it's like, I don't have my ID. Now we know you. What you need? You need money right now? Yeah, I need cash. Okay, well, come. It's, and those are the things that are like, you talk about old style banking. You talk about, so even though we have a lot of members that we can do online, we can get the mobile app. They really don't have to come into the branch, but they still do, and we love that. They come in just to come visit. They kind of come in and talk story and come tell us what's going on in their lives. I don't know. Sometimes they come into me in my office for counseling. It's pretty amazing what you go through as a somewhat banker or credit union rep, and it's But we do. That is our brand, our Maui. I know we're part of a big credit union in Hawaii, but our team works hard to have our Maui brand here for our Maui Island community. That is our biggest and what makes us proud and happy about coming to work the most.
I'm beaming from this side of the interview. I really am, because I know it to be true, and I've seen it. And your team is amazing, and just great kindness, great grace, great service, and I loved when you said old style banking, because it immediately took me to Mike Lyons as one of those amazing, very personable bankers of years past. Right. I immediately remembered him and thought, so fondly of him years back. And of course, there are so many other bankers that I can think of as well that just, Roger and others that just come to mind. But it's very true. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being on the show today, Joe, for sharing all this information so people can take this in and think about, especially now as you're working through, we're still seeing higher interest rates, but there's still so many services, and understanding how you can leverage a credit union differently than you can work with a bank, and the different things that they offer, and the full breadth of services that you provide. Even I'm having to rethink things. So, and I will be doing that, by the way. Well,
you know what to call me. Yeah. No, it's funny. You mentioned about music. Even when I'm playing music, I'll have people, wherever I'm playing music, they know I also have my day job, and they'll be like, hey, Joe, I don't want to ask you a work question, and they'll ask me, your home equity line of credit, you guys, what rates? It's funny. It's life. That unfortunately, that banking, money is life. We need it to function. So whatever we can help, we're glad to do it. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
Oh, you're amazing. And your team's amazing. Please send my love and blessings to all of them. And thank you so much for being on today. And we will have you We will have you on again soon. But just really appreciate your tremendous service. I'm so looking forward to all the events that are up and coming that you're going to be involved with Maui
and coming up too, so we're a big thing on that, so we're excited.
I think it's phenomenal. Well, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll talk again soon.
Will do. Thanks so much, Pam. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you too. Oh my gosh. Well, I just have to tell you, I'm sitting here a little blown away, and apparently tongue-tied as well. But just, as a member, I'm sitting here thinking, gosh, there's so many services that even I hadn't really fully known about or explored. And that's on me, because they sent me home with a lot of great material. So just really excited about that. I also just want to share before we bring our next guest on that we are always looking for new ways to do new things with Business Matters. So we are in a process of kind of rethinking, reinventing Business Matters radio show. And in the coming period, and we're going to launch it as soon as we're ready, but we are just kind of working through changes and ways to make the show more exciting, to bring a little bit more inspiration into your day. So I hope that you'll stay with us, listen in to updates, and we'll be sharing things as we move forward on the Chamber's website at mauichamber.com. But really reaching out more in this time that, our community is still going through some challenging times, and every day I'm working with small businesses who, many are starting to really move forward and have pivoted and are excelling, but, with our lower visitor counts, many are still struggling. So there's some new things that we're looking to infuse into the show and do things in a different way that really is meant to uplift and inspire and help people move forward. But our stories are inspiring and uplifting, and particularly when we get to talk to our members of the Chamber and, our local manufacturers, but the Chamber businesses, our local manufacturers, and these amazing leaders who are sharing important things with us. And so I just always love this show and hope you do as well, for the things that we learn and can move forward with, for hearing the excitement in people's voices as they talk about their business. That, to me, has always been a great inspiration, which is why I love doing what I do at the Maui Chamber of Commerce. So our next guest is Nicole Hutaff-Nakamura, president of Valley Isle Excursions. It is a family-owned tour business in Wailuku, Maui. Her parents actually acquired the company in 2002, 5 years after its founding, and Nicole has since taken over its operations. Now, Valley Isle Excursions offers guided tours to notable Maui destinations, including the Road to Hana and Haleakala National Park. They emphasize sustainable tourism practices and are among the first in Hawaii to achieve a sustainable tour operator certification. This was a big movement years ago as we were working on sustainable tourism to really ensure people had the training and really live sustainable tourism. And so to have that certification is really important. In response to the 2023 wildfires, Hutaff-Nakamura and her team provided assistance to displaced families, utilizing company resources to support the community. Valley Isle Excursions has been recognized for its commitment to customer service and environmental stewardship, and so much more. So please welcome Nicole. Good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Good morning. Mahalo so much for having me on and allowing me to share some of our company's history and goals. How are you this morning?
I'm wonderful, and it's our great pleasure to have you on. I loved seeing that you have achieved that Sustainable Tour Operator certification. I think that's fabulous. Can you take a quick moment just to tell people a little bit about what that means?
So basically, when we had we still are certified. We've renewed our certification just about every 2 years is what it's good for now. And what that means is that we go through an audit process, and they look at our company's policies, procedures, and best practices that encompass sustainability. So some of that specific to our company is one of the things that we do is any opala or any rubbish that our guests accumulate on tour, we actually bring all of that out of Hana. We don't throw any of that in their receptacles just because they have limited resources out in Hana. Their refuse center is really just built for their community, and being that it is a high traffic destination spot, we don't want to contribute to the overload of their refuse system. So that's one of the sustainability practices that we've incorporated. Another one is that we recycle. So any of our opala that is recyclable, we also bring that out and make sure that we're doing our part not to overload our refuse system out here on the Central Maui side.
I love that.
Sorry. So that's just one. Another one is in our internal offices. We've switched out all of our lighting to make sure that we are conserving energy. We operate almost 24 hours a day because we do the Haleakala sunrise. So we try to minimize our electricity use by having solar-powered spotlighting for our wash crew. We also, like I said, we changed out all of our lighting fixtures inside of our warehouse and inside of our office to make sure that we are using as little energy as possible. And then also in our sustainability policies, we have continuous education for our employees, and that is to educate them on our sustainability policies, on our sustainability efforts, but it also is to educate them just in community needs and cultural history and best practices. So that's it's a wide variety, and I could probably go on and on how we've accomplished and maintained our sustainability certification. And it is a process that is always evolving. So we are always looking for ways to increase our sustainability as we operate our tours. But those are some of the specific examples.
Well, I love that you shared that because, that when that initiative was started on the certification, it started as a pilot project. It's been very successful, but not everybody has that certification. And so it's really lovely to hear that you do. And I think it's one of those great differentiators for you. And I loved hearing about that. I'm really thrilled to hear you share that, and I appreciate that. So people can get a sense of what that means when they see it. And I think that's really important. Let's talk about Valley Isle Excursions. I understand that you are very unique when it comes to activity groups. So can you tell us a little bit about that uniqueness and what you feel makes your business stand out based on what you stand for?
Of course. So I feel one of the strong points in our company that I can't take credit for personally, because this is something that the foundation was laid in our core values by my mom and dad when they started to operate Valley Isle Excursions 20 plus years ago, is the core values of community first. And what that means to Valley Isle Excursions is that we exist as a resource to our community. And I understand, we're a visitor industry business. How does that equate to our number one core value being community needs? Well, that is, we exist to support our community needs in utilizing our transportation systems, contributing either in kind or monetary donations to support community events, youth events. One of the big things that we, not only the most recent community event with our wildfires in Kula and Lahaina, but prior to that, even during COVID, one of the things that we did is we provided free delivery services for the kupuna and other community members in Hana. So every Friday we would take supplies out to Hana, utilizing our drivers and our buses. And that was free to the community. So that is how we support our community. We want to be a resource. Growing up here in Hawaii, I am absolutely aware of, fundraising. We always tap into our families and friends, but sometimes that's just not enough. And so that's why we're here to extend a hand to our community, our friends, our family, other businesses, other nonprofits to support in any way that we can. Even if it's just using our platform to bring awareness to certain initiatives that nonprofits that align with our core values that we'd like to support. So that is really our number one goal, and I feel like that is one of the things that we stand out amongst other, visitor industry companies, is that we are very much involved in the community, and we also are involved in just sitting at the table for discussions with what does the community need, because we also understand that that changes. That's not always going to remain the same. And as those community needs change, we try to adjust our operations and our policies and procedures to align with the needs of the community. An example of that is, so we used to do in our Road to Hana tours, we used to do full circle. So we used to take the road past Hana, out past Kaupo, the unimproved, unpaved section of Hana Highway and Pi'ilani Highway. We stopped doing that maybe, I want to say 6 years ago, because, you know, the constant deterioration, the high traffic, it wasn't good for the community anymore. And although, you know, a lot of visitors desire to have the full experience, we just said, you know, it's not good for the community anymore, so we're going to stop doing that. And so that's one of the ways where we've listened to the community needs and we've adjusted our operations accordingly. So, you know, that's basically what we exist for, is we want to set the example to other tour operators that, hey, the community speaks, we need to listen. And if we can do it, other tour operators can do it too, and still give our guests the best experience possible without disrupting or compromising the needs of our community.
Oh, that's fantastic. We've got a couple minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about some of your goals this year. It's been kind of a rough market of late, given some of the downturn that we've seen in our visitor counts. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to and are planning on for this year?
So some of our goals is actually just increasing our recruitment and retention. I think in order for us to serve guests, we have to have the employee base to do it. We have a really solid training program. We've increased our benefit packages for our employees, and so our goal is to bring in employees that connect with our company, with our core values, and then we can build out our services once we have more staffing. So that's one of our main goals this year, is to increase our staffing, and then hopefully when we increase our staffing, we can offer more services beyond just what we already offer, which is our Road to Hana tours and our Haleakala Sunrise. So that's the main goal. So if there's anybody out there who is listening, who feels compelled or connected to some of our core values, I'd love to invite them to come and apply. We do driver training in-house. We also do CDL licensing in-house.
All right, we're down to 1 minute, Pam.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. It's been so great to have you on, and I deeply appreciate that. And we just want to have everybody know that they are looking for amazing team members. So that's Valley Isle Excursions. You've heard it. It sounds like a phenomenal place to work. We hope you'll reach out to them. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. It goes quickly, and we, of course, always want more. Every moment I listened into the stories, I'm just enthralled. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you found interesting today's show. Get ready for exciting new news coming up, and stay tuned to Business Matters. Blessings and best wishes for a wonderful week. Ahui no.